What's up, YouTube? My name is Uncle Smokey, and before I start this video, I would like to say I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So please take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own DD. Today we're going to talk about ticker symbol MMAT, Metamaterials Inc. We're going to go over the technical analysis, we're going to touch on the options chain, we're going to look at the Ortex data, we're going to look at the Fintel data, we're going to look at Wall Street Bets Tracker, the threshold security list, and what I'm looking for the stock to do in the upcoming days. MMAT opened up at $3.44 today. It closed at $3.19. We got bludgeoned. We got beat on pretty good by the shorters. They started attacking us first thing in the morning and just boom, 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 boom. Right there, you can see it. Shorting started to come back and then shorting. I mean, seriously, almost all day long. Consolidating towards the end of the day. I usually like consolidation. I don't like consolidation at this level. We are below what I feel the floor should be. $3.50 is my floor. That's what I feel we should be trading at and higher. If we're going to consolidate, I want to be consolidating in the 345 to 355 range and ready to mount to go higher. There's not a whole lot of selling pressure here as far as it goes with retail investors selling. That's not what we're seeing. I'm not saying there isn't any selling pressure, but this isn't the vast majority. The people who hold MMAT are going to continue to hold MMAT, whether it be because we're bag holders and we're holding far in from the torchlight days and we really need to recover some funds, or we got it at such a great deal, we're buying it at such a low price, a discount even, that we're going to hold it for a long time because we know there's going to be a lot of profits in the near and extended future. So I don't see a lot of retail investing selling pressure. But we'll go into the selling pressure I do see a little later on in the video. Now, with that being said, let's look at the options chain. I'm not going to concentrate on this too much because there's not a whole lot to concentrate on. We already know that MMAT has the monthlies. They don't have weekly trading as far as options go. So there's not much is going to change. We still are showing just out of the money. We're at the 4,000 in volume, just out of the money on the put side. We're at about almost 1,400. So your volume on the just out of the money to just out of the money is still about the same. Same with the as far out of the money as you can go to as far out of the money as you can go. Your ratio is still roughly the same. So I'm going to wrap up the whole options chain with that right there. And we're going to move over to the order flow. So we had about 21 million in volume today, and you'll notice that $16.94 million in outflow and $15.71 million in inflow. That's pretty significant. However, you're going to notice there's not much of a difference in these numbers. When you're talking this high of a dollar amount, $1 million isn't that big. You know, that's all that is about $1.2 million in trading volume. So not a huge difference there. That's pretty good. However, it doesn't explain why the stock took such a big dip. I mean, it's almost net neutral. So with that being said, we're going to jump over to Ortex. Ortex return shares 9 million. Well, there's some buying or selling pressure, right? No. Borrowed shares, 8.14 million. For a borrowed change of only 8.6 hundred thousand, so 860,000 shares negative change. That's almost net neutral. Now remember, this is T2. Okay? But now here's something else I want to look at. This a short interest change. So an hour ago it said 18% change. 40 minutes ago it said 13% change. 30 minutes ago it said 10% change, and now it says 5% change. It's 9:18 at night. The market's not moving. It's not doing anything. This number shouldn't be changing. Not at 9:20 at night. Yeah, let's see if it changes again. Ah, it didn't change that time. That's awesome. But it keeps changing. I don't see how this can change this late at night. If anybody knows why it does this late at night, please leave a comment in the comments below. I'll be happy to read it and get educated, because I'm a little confused. I don't know how this could have changed so much when the market's not even open, after markets isn't even open. Now, let's move over to Fintel. There's some interesting information on Fintel. I haven't done a dive on Fintel yet. I would love to show you guys a little bit more about this. The information that's on Fintel, you don't have to pay for this information. Fintel is a pay-for site, but this isn't information that you need to pay for. You can acquire this information. It's hard to get, but you can acquire a lot of the information that they provide on this site by yourself. So here's one of the things I want to look at. So Fintel is a great company to look at, a great website to look at if you want to see possible sentiment of a stock. You want to see their filings, SEC filings. If you want to see the short interest, you want to see the insider selling, you want to see what ownership they have. I mean, it does a lot for you. I've already said before, I use this a lot for some of my bigger plays and my short squeeze plays, because they have the short squeeze tracker. However, the other thing that they have here is this tab here. It's called the ownership tab. It shows you all the different institutional short interest owners, buyers and sellers. I'm just going to start right at the top and show you a little bit about what this institutional ownership is. So basically, institutional ownership and shareholders. This is going to cover all of your institutional owners, such as all of your big hedge funds, conglomerates, things like that. And it's also going to cover the individual investor. Hedge funds, see there, institutions, all that. Schedule 13Ds, Schedule 13Fs, Schedule 13Gs, they're all going to be listed right here in the ownership, and they have to be. This is what the SEC goes off of, is these schedules, these filings, to let them know what companies own what stocks, how much they have in each one. For instance, we know that a few days ago, Nova Scotia Innovation Corporation changed their shares. They had to do a 13, I believe it was a 13F or a 13G, something like that. Where's it? I think I might even say it right here. Oh, 13G. So it showed basically they currently have 12.5 million shares, which is down from what they did previously have. But that's what that is. That tells them that, hey, they did have this, now they have this, there's a difference. They now only own 4% of the company. So now they're below 5%. So they don't have to keep showing a lot of filings then. They can now go to these 13Gs. They don't have to do a 13F. Or, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. They don't have to do a 13D when a G is less necessary. Like there's less things you have to do in a G, because they're below 5% of the filing. They don't need to show as much information, so it's a little quicker for them, where a 13D takes a little longer. But you'll also notice that they have a heck of a lot higher share volume, so that means they actually have a higher ownership in the company, 13%, in fact 13.5. That's why they had to do a 13D. There's more paperwork, but it's a true filing and it's good. You scroll down here to the 13Fs and the end port filings. The 13Fs are exactly this. They are either an entry or an exit into the stock, whether it be shares, calls, or puts. You can buy all three. And you'll notice that Royal Bank today did a 13F filing, which means they bought shares on the open market. 19,496 shares were bought today. 106,200 shares in calls. So if you take calls, we know calls are 100 shares for each call. That's how many calls they bought to get to 106,000 shares. So it's something like 10,620 calls. I don't know. I just dropped it 0. It's kind of what they do, I guess. And they did that today. Now, also, they did do a little bit of a hedging position where they bought a put as well. But you'll notice that their put position is nowhere near their call position. And they also bought shares. So equity proprietary markets bought all of this today. And then Cutler Group yesterday, look at this, 400,000 call, 350,000 put, plus an additional 16,000 in shares. You can't tell me if there isn't buying, because there is. There's buying. It's happening. But according to our chart here, they're selling. So even if this was just institution buying and selling, and all that we are doing is holding, as far as retail investors go, is just holding. We're not even buying and selling. It doesn't explain here why there was such a drop, because it's primarily buying and institutional buyers today. Big ones. Granted, boom, there's a put and there's a put. That's okay, but it still doesn't outweigh everything else. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. Wall Street Bets Tracker. Wall Street Bets Tracker is awesome because we can judge the sentiment of a stock and of the market with it. MMAT. You'll notice it's got this little purple looking triangle here. Top rising activity within the past 12 hours. The darker, the stronger. So it's not very dark, but it's dark. We've gone up to 1.8% today. Boom. Look at that. We're staying on this tracker. This is fantastic. Like I said before, I like this. This is great, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. Threshold security list. Uh-oh. We're off of it. Oh, wait. That didn't do anything, did it? Here, let's try it again. Uh-oh. We're off of it. Yeah, nope. Didn't change the stock at all again. I said it wouldn't. I knew it wouldn't. It really doesn't do much for it. So, again, next time that you see the threshold security list, I'm just going to exit out of it. It's probably not that important. Don't use it as a gauge. Okay, so that brings us to the website. So these are the things that I look at when I dive into a company, whether I want to decide whether I want to invest in them or not. So I go to the company, I go to their website, their main site, and I start looking right at the beginning. And Meta has a fantastic website. I mean, it's very interactive. It's very nice. You scroll right over the technology. We go beyond innovate. These are just some of the things that they do. These are the areas that they're in. Then here's the applications that go beyond those areas. These are the ones that they are, these are all the applications those areas dive into. There's a lot here. Of course, you've got the physical products that Meta is doing, and then here's the investors. So this is the part that I like to concentrate on as far as it goes with my deep dives, the overview of the company, what news they've got coming in and out, the company info, the stock info, and the financials and filings, and of course at the end the ESG there. The financials and filings is very, very important to me. In fact, I don't even need to do that. I'm already on it. This is basically what's going to tell us what the company has done, what they're trying to do. They're going to have their future plan, what they look to see in the upcoming months and years. This is where you go to see all of that. So I already have it up here. This is from Torchlight. Okay, this is Form 10Q. This is their quarterlies. Every company does this. In fact, you'll notice that if you're on your Webull site or your Robinhood site or your Fidelity, whatever you use, I suggest Webull, by the way. If you're on that site, they're going to say that, hey, earnings are coming up. Well, that's what this is. This is earnings. This is just what it is before they break it down into such easy, dummy-proof words. So this is what you're looking at. They're showing the quarter 4 of the previous year to quarter 1 of this year. Oh, sorry, I have a touch screen. And, what has changed. That's a big number change. What's most impressive is I don't see any negatives on here. That's to me very good. There's never a negative on here. So they're not showing that they're losing money. They're actually profitable, almost really, really profitable. So them merging with Mmat, you can only assume that the same thing's going to happen. Now, again, I'm just starting to dive into this company as far as it goes with their financials and the filings and the patents and everything else that they have. So as I get more fluid with it, I will pass that information on to you. Hey, I'm no Max Mayer, but I will do my best. Well, with that being said, I have nothing else for you today. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. This video is getting really long. Please go ahead and press the like button, smash the subscribe button, ring the bell if you like what I'm doing here, and you can get notifications for all of my upcoming videos. If there's anything that you disagree with, let me know in the comments below. I will try and correct it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Peace.